Being one of the largest slaughter facilities in the world, we basically kill for a living, which makes managing the reputation a day-to-day challenge. I would say today we actually uphold a pretty good reputation, which also means that people working in the company worldwide does not have a problem working in the facility. We provide meat for more than 130 countries around the world, and of course that will tend to raise questions about animal welfare, about the way we slaughter, but for me transparency is the key word these days, to make sure that we keep doing things in a decent way and that we keep having a production that we actually can afford to show people when they want to come and see it. Let me just give you one example. We have the most modern slaughter facility in the world. It's placed in the middle of Jutland in Denmark, and here we receive 25,000 visitors each year, heads of state from all over the world, ministers from all over the world, but also school kids and retired people, because every time anybody wants to have a debate with us about what it is we do, the answer from our point is, come and see it and let's take the debate from there. The worst thing you can do as a reputation responsible person is to have a debate with people based on myths. So let's get the facts out and let's be transparent in what we do. That's also a way to create a company that the 25,000 employees will actually want to be part of. I would have to say, being at a conference like this, where there's a lot of agency people, and they're always very interesting to talk to, but I'm going to have to admit that we actually don't use agencies. We did before my time, then I came on board and then we said goodbye to them. For me, that was a matter of who owns the issues and who are the drivers when we are telling the story about Danish Crown, who are creating the tone of voice and the sentiment that has to go with a company that not only kills for a living but also produces a product that is purely based on trust and communication with the consumers who are going to eat it worldwide. So my experience is that the minute you tend to put your strategic moves out to agencies, you lose hold of it somehow. Also, I must say that over the last few years, agencies have become more and more, well, can I say desperate? I'm going to say desperate, because the way they approach a person like me is pretty aggressive. And whenever they call me up and say, you have this issue and we can solve it this way, I can basically make them go away by just saying, well, that's going to create a different issue over here. How are you going to take care of that? And the research is just never good enough to answer that. We have the entire value chain. We're owned by 10,000 farmers. That creates for a lot of issues, from animal welfare over the whole production facility to food safety worldwide, and also a lot of political, even religious issues when you're a pork slaughter facility. And as an agency, you would have to be able to grasp that entire value chain of what we're doing. And if you can't do that, you're going to come up with solutions that might suit the farmers in terms of media handling, but that's going to make all the employees annoyed and make them go home. We can't afford that. Or it's going to be the other way around. So for us to be in control of this situation, we need to be with it the entire time. We also need to be emotionally with it the entire time. So that's been my choice. I'm not saying it's the right one, but so far it's working for us. Well, let me tell you one thing. We are now, Denmark is a very small country, 5.5 million inhabitants. We produce in Denmark 25 million pigs a year. We slaughter 17 million of them. Our communications department, and this is worldwide, is 6 people. One of the companies in Denmark right now that has the worst reputation crisis you've ever seen, they have 120 journalists on board. So I'm just saying that I'm not falling for the excuse. I'm just saying, have a very clear strategy. Know exactly how you spend your time and what you do it and what it is you want to achieve with it. And then make sure that if your goal is out here, you're not running in that direction. Because that, to me, is sometimes what happens if you put on agencies. And I'm just saying, the budget I have is pretty limited. And I have only one story to tell. And that story is, it's all about food. It's not a marketing slogan. It's a set of values, meaning that as a farmer, you need to ask yourself every day when you go out and look at your animals, if people came by here, would they eat what I'm producing? If you say, well, could they then come by next week instead? We have a global problem. As a production worker in the company, if you at any point think, I'm going to skip the hygiene log that I have to go through every time I enter the production, if you for 1 second think that, hey, come on, I was just out, visiting the bathroom or whatever. Then you have to ask yourself going in there, the food I'm producing right now, and we're talking about a slaughter facility, and this is just one of them, that we're slaughtering 100,000 pigs a week. This is big. So if this guy comes in there, he should ask himself, the product I'm producing, would I bring that home and feed it to my family? If he says, well, in that case, I'd rather have what Brian over here is making, we have a problem. To me, that is reputation management. You have to start from within. You have to create a whole world of systems and values and feelings, basically, that makes what we produce something that other people will want to eat. No agency can do that for you. You can only do it yourself. So, is it a matter of that we're so many more people on board? No. 6. That's it.